and today we have probably the biggest PS4 Blood Bowl streamer on the planet. It really doesn't need an introduction, but I better do just in case someone's been living in a cave. Durrun is with us today, so obviously Durrun, who is one of the veteran players of Blood Bowl on the PS4, streams tons of it, and is famous for his wonderful, really funny teams he does, like Oak Parlon and the Mighty Blow is Useless. What a fantastic. So welcome to the show, Durrun. It's good to have you on. And how was your Blood Bowl in Season 11 started?
Season started pretty good. Hello and welcome to yourself, Bernie. And other than my one loss, of course, is the blue screen. But to be fair, I was getting my ass handed to me in said game, so it wasn't looking good anyway. But I still had a whole half, so I'm still annoyed. Like basically, a black orc got move busted, so it's like I could have really used the cash to replace him. Like,
yeah.
So. A little frustrating, but other than that, it's pretty good.
Yeah, it is. I mean, blue screens is frustrating. I mean, it's just I don't know. I don't know really what they can do, to be honest. Obviously, it's not just by the sounds of it, it's not just a game thing, is it? It's the console itself. So. I know they're working on a stability patch because the Xbox has been just as bad, if not worse, than the PS4 with crashes and stuff like that. So I know Cyanide are working pretty much on a console stability patch. So hopefully that'll come out soon. But will that help with blue screens? I'm not so sure, but we'll see.
I can give you the answer. I've said it a million times on my stream. We'll say it one more time. Posterity. Basically, you can't fix the blue screen, right? It is a console indicator. I think it's part of the firmware itself of the console causes. Like I've had blue screens on XCOM 2. I've had them on Battle Chasers Night War. I've had them on several other games. They're not as frequent as Blood Bowl. Blood Bowl definitely seems to be the standout of causing them.
Yeah,
and it's probably because of the online multiplayer function that it's something related to that. But the workaround is pretty simple. Like, we know when it blue screens, the other opponent who's not blue screen gets the clock. It's the disconnection clock when you blue screen. So all we need is, like, on PC, because I've had my PC crash in the last couple of weeks, and I finally got to see what it's like when you reconnect on PC. And as soon as you load up the game again and go back in and get to the menu screen, there's a little pop-up that says, hey, this game is still in progress. Would you like to rejoin? That's all they got to do. They just got to write in a software for any kind of disconnect for the consoles, and then we get the same thing. You want to rejoin? Yes, you're back in.
Yeah,
I mean, like I said, you're not going to be able to go after the blue screen. So.
No, but I mean, the thing is, I mean, I've had the same thing. I mean, when I go on PC, I don't play much Blood Bowl on PC. My PC will overheat and it'll just turn itself off. But then I'll boot it back up and reconnect to the game, and I keep playing, and it's just amazing. But it seems when I've asked Cyanide before, or the impression I get is that it's not that easy doing it on a console, and that's why they can't do it. But I would have thought, surely they must be able to do it. Surely with the technology of today, that there must be a way to be able to get the reconnection feature, unless it's really expensive to implement. I'm not sure, but like you said, if they could put the reconnection in there, then all of a sudden this blue screen thing wouldn't be much of an issue, because if you blue screen, oh well, no worries, I'll just log back in. And everyone would be happy, but you know,
2-minute clock is probably even good enough on the consoles to get back into a game, as opposed to PC where you may be rebooting your whole computer. Console, you just got to turn the game back on, and you're back in like 30 seconds. So.
Yeah, so it'd be interesting. I mean, you know, blue screen thing's always going to be rear its ugly head there, and every time it does happen, then it's disgusting when it happens, and it pisses us all off. Especially, you know, I mean, luckily for you, like I said, you was losing, but that cash could have helped you with your Black Orc. Where, you know, most of the time it's usually when you're winning, isn't it? And the worst thing is when you've got an undefeated team, and then you know, basically you get a loss like that.
Had a handful of those.
Yeah, well, I think we all have. It's frustrating. And then obviously the bigger picture is, obviously if you get so many of them, you get banned for the season. What's, you know, is annoying. But yeah, there you go. Well, let's.
I know you guys can like admin them out because of the season 3 debacle, but I guess that's too much work to do every season, right?
It is. I mean, the thing is, the only way we could ever really do it is, say, for instance, I don't know, you had 7 blue screens and it was all streamed on your Twitch. What obviously for yourself probably would be, and you could show us proof that if we could see proof of every one of them being a blue screen, then we'd be like, you know what, we'll you know. We'll obviously get you back into the competition, but that would be the only way we would be able to do it. You know, because a lot of times, a lot of them say, "Oh, I've had 7 blue screens," and they probably haven't. I mean, I had one guy, without mentioning his name, saying, "Oh yeah, you know, blue screen and all that," and I know full well that you know he just disconnected because he said to me, "Oh, screw this, f off," and went. So it's like, and then later on in the season, he was like, "Oh yeah, they are all blues." I'm like, "Mate, you swore and had a go at me saying he was leaving." So you know, there's one I know of. So you know so basically that's why we have to be harsh because you know, most people will be honest and say the truth, but there's people who try and work the system. Without going too much into the admin work, we've banned people who've made the playoffs because of dodgy stuff and then various other stuff. So yeah, it is a lot of hard work. But if someone like yourself could prove there's all blue screens, then yeah, we would definitely look into not banning you because at the end of the day, you can prove they've all been blue screens. But so that's a good thing for Twitching, I suppose. But everyone's telling me off because I haven't accepted my ticket yet for season 10 Champions Cup. You know what, guys? It's all right. He's all right. My ticket's there. It's fine.
You're just doing it wrong. Just don't make the playoffs, and you don't need a ticket.
Exactly.
See how easy my life is. I'm just playing the new ladder, and I'm no worries. Just forget about season 10. It's over.
Yeah, well, oh man, I mean, the thing is with the ladder, it's always good to get into the playoffs. I mean, it can be frustrating, but it's always good fun, and I'm there again. But to be honest, as I said to some of the guys, this is the first time I've actually got to a playoffs with a team I'm really happy with. So I just know that I'm going to go out first round because I'm actually happy with the team for once. But hey ho, there we go. So right, let's get on with asking you some questions then, Durrun, because I'm sure everybody wants to know about you. So, how long have you been playing, obviously, Blood Bowl, and what made you start playing it?
How long have I been playing Blood Bowl 2?
Oh, Blood Bowl in general. Yeah, Blood Bowl in general.
Oh, it's Blood Bowl 2. I bought it like a month after it came out on PC, and then I got a console on Black Friday that year, 2 years ago, and bought it on the console too. Yeah, just basically for the last 2 years, basically. Not even. No, I guess 2 years. Yeah, it would have been October when I got it on PC. So yeah, a little over 2 years.
So was it like, for instance, obviously you're a big, obviously PS4 streamer. Was you obviously a big streamer before Blood Bowl came out, or did you start when Blood Bowl came out?
And just when I got the PlayStation, because like my laptop was old, I really didn't trust it to do anything. So, I had to shut out, running all minimum settings. Oh my God, English is hard. And it just made heat up my laptop to no degree. So I didn't want to then add on all the streaming software on top of that, right? So just to play the game was taxing enough. So yeah, I just waited till I got a console.
Yeah,
they're pretty idiot-proof to stream on. So
yeah, I mean, oh God, we've got 24 people already. Crikey, they're doing well, these lads. There's always, I tell you what though, when we do send these tickets out, there's always 1 or 2 people who hold everybody else up. So I'll expect that. But I mean, what? I mean, obviously you played Blood Bowl now for a long time, or it seems like you played for a long time. What keeps you coming back to it? Because I think you're a bit like me. You get frustrated and you get peeved off, and when things go wrong, but we still come back for more. What do you think it is? What stops you from not going away from the game?
Lately, the money. But
fair enough. All about the money.
No, I like strategy turn-based in general. I played a lot of XCOM before this, so that's kind of how I found this through XCOM on YouTube channels, right? So.
Yeah, I mean it's surprising because, like I said, nobody was actually asking for the cash for Blood Bowl. Then one day they just said, "Hey, right, some cash, go ahead and try and win it." And people keep saying, "Oh, well, that'll be it, the money will eventually run out." But again, season 11, have some more cash. And then obviously they got the World Cup coming as well. Now there was I know there was rumours, shall we say, that the World Cup PS4 may be getting some tickets for the World Cup, where basically you probably have to play on the PS4, and if you win one of these tickets, then obviously you obviously have it, but then you've got to obviously play on the PC. But it's a good thing, I suppose, if to try and win a World Cup ticket.
The World Cup, then, what's the format?
Do you know what? I have no idea. I have no idea. Everyone keeps going on about how great this World Cup is, and I've never ever been involved in it at all. But apparently, it's a big thing, and it's a lot of cash. I think someone says like £3,500 or something like that. Something crazy. And
Well, the winner of the other one was Guinness, right? And he got like I think it was 4,500 or something and a computer.
nice. Well, there you go then.
I think it was that range. It was a pretty sweet deal for whoever won, anyway.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I would have thought it's. I'm sure it's like a knockout cup like ours. Because I remember Drick, who was on the Xbox, he was real filthy because he's a very, very good player, and I think he got some bad luck first round and went out. So I presume it must be just a knockout system.
Yeah, the tournament itself last time was just a single knockout tournament. But what I don't understand is you had to play 20. You had 20 game qualifying. Basically, everybody who qualified went 20-0 because that was like the way you had to do it. Basically,
Wow.
there may have been a couple invites for certain people. I don't remember,
Yeah.
but it looked like when they started, everybody had new teams. So it didn't like because after 20 games, these teams playing did not look like they played 20 games. Like they
Yeah,
just
maybe,
weren't skilled, so.
yeah, maybe it's just keep it all balanced and fair, and it goes. If I dare say it, on the coach's skill, if you all start from the beginning again, I'm not sure. I like I said, I've not really got much into it because it's been something what's not really interested me. But obviously, everyone keeps going on about it in the admins, and they're saying, "Oh, it's the World Cup, it's big, and all this." And it's like, "Oh, well, I suppose I better try and get into it." But when they said about would there be interest on the PS4 and Xbox, I'm thinking, well, hell yeah, PS4 lads will definitely want to do it. So what I'm trying to say is, Cyanide are trying to promote things on the consoles as well. Like with Blood Bowl 1, it was a car crash on the consoles. Well, at least with Blood Bowl 2, they've learnt from it, and obviously they're trying to treat the console game the same as obviously the PC, even with like bringing content out basically at the same time as well. What's good to see. So yeah. What I mean, obviously, well, let's talk about these teams you do, because obviously, even though it's for cash and stuff like that, you still do your funky, really funny teams. What gave you the idea to do these, like, Mighty Blows Useless, all these Parlon teams, and then Frenzy and stuff like that? Was it just one day you woke up and thought, you know what, I'm going to do this? Because they're great. I enjoy them. I love watching them.
Oh, hello.
Yeah, I'm here. You still there?
Oh, okay. Sorry, your mic
Sorry.
cut out for a second. All right, yeah.
Right.
Basically, well, just after playing for like a year or so,
Mm-hmm.
it seemed I just needed variety. I needed to change. It just seemed like there was more possibilities that people just wouldn't play, and
Mm.
I just wanted to see how viable they were. And the Pylon team is actually pretty good. I'm running it again this season. Fan favorite Pylon team.
I've
Fact,
seen it.
but yeah, and the Frenzy Orcs, I went all Black Orcs, all Frenzy first skill. And
Yeah.
people seemed to like that one a lot because I was surfing people literally from the middle of the LOS, right from the middle, just right off the pitch. So that was fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just variety, right? Try things out because if you're always playing, if the game can get really grindy and boring if you're always playing the same team against the same teams, and it just little variety can throw people off and open up things for you. So I encourage people to try things.
Yeah, I mean that's it. I mean, I think that's what everyone likes because obviously when you go on your stream with the playoffs and all that, there's always a theme and it's always a fun theme of some sort. And I mean, obviously you've got a big, massive fan base there, and they all seem to enjoy it. I mean, I like I say, I love the Orc Parlons. Mighty Blows Use was a fun one as well. Just something different. But you seem to have this tendency to play a lot of Orcs. Is Orcs your favourite team, or is it just just something you just play?
No, Orcs are probably my favorite. I could safely say at this point. I never used to say it, but I think I do now these days. And like if they just they have the most versatility for a bash team to do fun things with, to try different builds. Like they're just more versatile in what you can try and do with them, right?
Well, yeah, I mean, Orcs was always my favourite team since I was a teenager, and obviously worked against Workshop. They was always the team. It's just something about Orcs what I used to love, and Black Orcs always made me laugh because they was like in fantasy, even on 4K, they were the really serious ones where the rest of them was just complete rabble. These were like really serious, big, massive, hulking monsters. So I've always liked them, and I always think with Orcs you've got a bit of variety. I mean, I think the Troll, in my opinion, is the best value big guy in the game. 110k regeneration. You can throw a goblin, potential one turner.
Oh,
Oh man,
price, yeah, price.
yeah.
Pricey
price.
value.
You
I
can't.
don't know the practical use, but
Oh no! Well, I never trust any big guy. I hate them. I mean, the only ones I really take is either the troll, just because it's an Oak team, so you go have a troll, or a Beast of Nurgle. I like the Beast of Nurgle. That is a that is very useful for an Nurgle team. But
yeah.
I'm not.
Here's a tip for your Beast and Nurgle kids: if you're using it properly and you check the stats after the game, you should only have like 2 or 3, like less than 8, well, maximum 8 really stupid rolls. Because all you should be doing is moving him. You shouldn't even be throwing blocks. He's just there to mess
Yeah.
things up for your opponent, more or less.
Oh yeah, absolutely, absolutely. Someone said about Underworld Troll. Yeah, I love the Underworld Troll. I just wish they could have 2 of them, but maybe that'd be a bit too OP. But yeah, the Underworld Troll, obviously, Mighty Blow Claw. That's a scary combination if after 1 level up. So I agree there. Yes, I've accepted my ticket, people. These admins, man, got the knickers in a twist. Bloody, I've accepted. Don't worry. What else have we got in the? God, there's nothing else really in there. I don't think.
I'll just throw it out there though. If the ogre guy doesn't accept, I still have not deleted my crappy ogre team from last season. So.
Right, okay. Yeah, I mean, you never know. You just never know with these things. I mean, it's crazy. I mean, on the Xbox last season, I think we had I think it was a vampire team got into the playoffs with a 0-0-3 record. So, I always say to people, don't delete until it's official, because you'd be amazed how many just don't take the ticket, or the thought that wasn't in, so they delete the team already. Yeah, I mean, I obviously I qualified quite early on with my Chaos, and I've been playing on the Xbox, so I came back on to have a proper look, obviously on the PS4, and I was like, oh my god, everything's changed. And there's some really new guys, like this Bonnen 1328. Never heard of him. He was definitely not playing, but he's got a Lizard team, 18-5-2. I don't know if you know anything about him, and I think there's another guy as well I saw, a Boosifier or whatever, playing Elven Union, played 11, won 11. So
I saw that record. That one stood out. Yeah.
Yeah, and then even an Oak player, Jamacho, never heard of him either. That's Anaya. Who's that? The Boosifier? Okay. Anaya. Is he the guy who comes in my stream a lot, Gimlick? I can't remember. But
Aniana running a legitimate team. Yeah, that might have been him actually.
So yeah, but did you make it this season? Did you make it this season?
No,
Durrun?
I got sidetracked because of I trophy hunt too. I try to get platinums on the console.
Not fair, dude.
I just got on my 125th platinum for Marvel Heroes Omega, and that's the reason I didn't really qualify this season, because they announced the shutdown early, and it was like, oh, I got to grind. Luckily I got it done the day before it shut down. So
bugger. Yeah,
I ate up like. I played it like 60 hours in a week, so I didn't really have a lot of time.
Bloody hell. Yeah, I went and I'd like, I don't know, 20 hours to try and get a Goblin team qualified on the PC, try and pinch that spot. And I in the end, I got fed up after about 6 games. But I got a 4-2 record, so I was pretty impressive against the PC Brigade, I beat 3 undefeated records, so I was like, with Goblins, I thought, you know what? They ain't all that PC a lot. But yeah, it is fun to be in them. I mean, are you going to be? Did I read somewhere that you're going to be co-announcing the playoffs?
I threw it out there. If anybody wants, I'll help you out with the first round, basically, because I know it's a ton of games now. So.
But yeah, oh yeah, well, I'll definitely have you in my stream. And obviously, if you want to do them when nobody else is either, obviously it's only a positive for the players if you stream them, because obviously you've got a big following fan base, and obviously everyone will watch you, and obviously we're going announcer, so that'd be good if you can do some of them. Cinemaus is saying played
a plus I'm in North America, so I cover different time zones.
Yes, absolutely. For some bizarre reason, it's like I feel unloved sometimes, because it's like, guys, the only day I can't really do is Monday, and then I think what happened is about 5 games were played on the Monday. I was like, yeah, thanks guys, love you a lot too, sort of thing. But, that's Walking Dead in England, Walking Dead town, and Mrs. won't be having that. She won't be having Blood Bowl on when Walking Dead's on. But yeah, it's good if we've got other people who are willing to stream, especially obviously your time zone, because obviously, we do get them games where obviously, unfortunately, I can't stream, or if I do at 3 in the morning, I've got to be very quiet because I obviously don't want to wake the missus up. Otherwise, I'm a dead man, as you can appreciate. Cinemouse is saying played Abanon. He's good. Anania is Abanon. What? I mean, I've spoke to Ananian. Is he? Oh God, my memory's terrible. He's gonna kill me. I'm sure I should. I'm sure I've spoke to him on the stream, but I can't remember actually ever playing him. But anyway, I'm sure he'll tell me off for it. So there we go. So let's have a look. So basically, you've already started this season, so you're off to a good record. See if I can get myself into this season, because I don't think I've played one yet. Let's have a look what we got. Oh my word. Chaos Dwarfs! They're second and third in the leaderboard. What the hell is this? I blame Tripperus for this. For bloody winning it, I bet everyone's so, fuck me, if Trippers can fucking win a championship, then bloody hell, Chaos Dwarfs must be overpowered. Let's go them. But then again, look at that, you're fourth. You're bringing sanity back to the champion ladder. You just need to break into that 3 now, Chaos Dwarfs. I mean, that's just ridiculous. Why do you think people go Chaos Dwarfs, Durrun? It seems to be really popular race. Everybody seems to be bloody playing them. What makes them popular?
Because they're dwarves, but they've got more movement and strength, and they can get claw palm. That's basically it, right?
Well, I always thought it was to do with claw, yeah. But yeah, they seem to be so popular. I'm just having a look. Let's have a look at your team anyway. Let's have a look. Let's see how far you've got in yours at the moment. So the loss was your blue screen on this one, I presume, yeah?
Yeah, I was losing that game, but yeah, that was the blue screen loss.
Let's have a look. Good old troll there. Good over troll. Here we go. I tell you what, though, he looks real disturbing when he has Pal on. As obviously you put Pal on him already. That just looks, wrong. But yeah, oh look, you got your Wii's back again. Oh, that's good. They bring back memories, so that's all good.
Well, yeah, the top 9 are all named. And the thrower. I've kind of latched onto that name for throwers, but as I add goblins and linemen, I'll add people from the followers and subs and stuff like that for those. But yeah, the name's pretty much.
I mean, obviously you've got the lookout below as well, which was a nice touch between 6 and 9. If people haven't noticed that, that's always fun. So let's see. So you beat up some halflings, you nasty man. Last game out, you beat some Khemri, Chaos, Rats. And you see Dead Can Dance. Is that iMedia by any chance, the undead player?
Yeah, and I should have won that one too, but I rolled, of course, my beautiful double 1 GFIs twice.
Oh, what?
And he ended up scoring for the draw. Like I would have stopped him if I didn't. But...
That is filthy. Yeah, I've rolled a lot of double 1s on the Xbox at the moment. I don't know what it is. I mean, it seems to me like it must be a glitch or something, because people seem to roll too many 1s for GFRs. It's just crazy. It shouldn't happen as much as it does, in my opinion. But it seems like every time I go for a GFI, I fail it. I have to bend a reroll. It's annoying.
It proves it in the stat line too, right? Because how often are you at 83% or higher after a game for GFIs? I might be 1 in 6 times I'm at average or better. All the other times I'm below.
Yeah,
I'm always coming in under.
Yeah, I am. I just Game League saying it's like a 50-50 roll for each GFI. Yeah, it is always. Is always a worry. I mean, I've gone. I'm trying to do something different this season. I'm trying to go back to like the speedier types, the non-bash teams. And I had an Orc team. Got beaten by goblins. I won the game, but I had a Black Orc killed, a Blitzer, niggling injury, and a missing game Orc. Bear in mind that's Armor Nan. My Chaos Dwarfs lost their Bull Centaur, but my Skaven, basically Armor 7, they've not even got a scratch on them. Not even a scratch on them. So it's like, well, how on earth could these big armoured things, my team's wrecked, and as soon as I go to Armour 7, don't worry about it. Stuns, KOs, no injuries for you. But so it's like, and I've decided to go Rats this season. So I don't know how well I'll do with them.
There hasn't been a lot of Skaven teams the last few seasons, so you may be alone if you can get out quick.
Yeah, I mean, that was on the Xbox. PS4, I'm debating between.
Even on PS4, there hasn't been many. Up top, in the top 2 pages of the leaderboards just last season, there was only 2 on the top 3 pages. So. Yeah,
I think for me, it's just trying to get you. I mean, I did have a good rat team in the ML a long time ago until it met some dwarfs. But you know, I mean, they're a good team, I suppose. I suppose it's getting used to not killing shit. I mean, you can still foul, and if you get some claw, I suppose. But the other one I was looking at was Wood Elves, just something completely different. But you know, all agility 4, and you know, you come to a point where, you know, I don't know about you, but my armor breaks so many times for armor 9. So I'm thinking, you know what, might as well have armor 7, because then I'm expecting it to break, and if it doesn't break, then it's like, oh well, that's a bonus, and if it does break, it's like, well, it's armor 7, so you know, you're not as annoyed. And plus I've got the speed then, so yeah, I'm gonna try something different, I think, and see how I go. But you're gonna stick with your Orcs, I'm guessing.
Yeah, for now anyway. I'm not going to run a bunch of teams this season. That's the plan too. I'm probably just going to play this team for now until unless I have to ditch it. I'm just going to play this team probably, and of course the 20 games which is going to start after we're done the show for anybody watching. And it looks like Kislev is going to win.
Oh, fantastic! That is fantastic. I mean, yeah. Kislev looks so good. I love Kislev. You know, you've always got a chance to get the ball loose. The only problem with Kislev is I'm not too keen on the star players because it looks a bit daft, because obviously the lizards, obviously, yeah, we know Kislev are thinking over the slan. But I thought they might have been giving him a few star players, would have been nice. But they always seem to break very easily for some reason. I don't know why that is. Obviously,
yeah, only the catchers are armor 7, right? Everybody else is supposed to be armor 8.
But the amount of times I talked to a lot of Kislev coaches, because I was thinking Kislev and the same Benny, they just break. They always break. So be careful. And I must admit, every time I've gone against them, they've always been a challenge, but I've been able to get loads of injuries against them. It's like they're armor 5 or something. You know, it's just crazy. It's always funny when dwarfs fail GFIs or mummy fail in GFI, kill himself and not regenerating. Yes, Projecki, it is, unless they're my own. But Projecki, you're a Skaven player, aren't you? So I may be going Skaven this season, buddy. So you might have a challenge. Not that I'm any good. But yeah, so you're going to go Orcs, and I'm going to have to also watch your stream if you're going to go Kislev, because that's going to be hilarious. That is, they're amazing. Really are.
Well, they have potential, but just off the top of my head, they kind of seem a little bit like vampires. Like it's just, you need like 2 or 3 levels to get them skilled up, right? To where they're good.
Yeah,
anyway.
Yeah. I mean, block and dodge, or block and sidestep are always good things to get on your obviously your blitzers, and then obviously I would just be going wrestle spam on all my linemen and all that. So I've got loads of options just to jump in and few with strip ball and various stuff like that. So the Stu is just coming elf. Yeah, I might be going Wood Elves this season, Stu, in the Champions ladder, unless they get murdered pretty quickly and boo the Stew. Isn't that true for us, saying Stomper? So yeah, good to see you both on anyway, guys. But yeah, I mean, oh dear me, is there anybody from last season who you think will do well in the playoffs of season 10? You got a prediction who's going to win it? Well, I've got you in the show, Durrun.
I haven't looked at the layout or anything yet.
I must admit, I had a look and I was like, God, there's so many good coaches. I think this is probably the hardest place we've ever had. All the big guns are back for this. You can tell there's cash on the line. All the mercenaries have come back. Yeah, it's going to be tough. I mean, you always need luck in these playoffs. Otherwise, you're screwed. It's as simple as that. But yeah. So there we go.
I'm just pulling it up now in front of me to take a quick glance. Those who've accepted tickets anyway.
Yeah. Yeah, I must admit,
2100 Skaven seems like it would be pretty good.
Yeah, he was a funny one, Projecki, because like I said, he was up top, but he just couldn't stop playing games. And then next thing I looked at, it was like he was on the second page. I mean, he's still got decent players. I mean, he's still got his movement 10 gut runner, was obviously pretty good, and he's obviously got his strip baller, wrestle, horn piece. So he's definitely got potential there. He plays his Skaven a bit like me, probably even more crazy than me. He likes to be a lot aggressive.
That rat odor is disgusting.
Yeah, he is. Yeah. I mean, luckily someone did us a favour. Yeah, he had Stone Vermin Mighty Blow Claw piece as well. And like when my case used to go up against him, I was like, holy shit, man, this guy's got as much claw as I have. So you know, I'm thankful that at least people have got rid of the other claw pieces and it's just a rat ogre now. So You know, because this was ridiculous because he had the 1-turners, he could score whenever he wanted, he had wrestles, strip balls, all this stuff, and he had like 2-3 pieces with might blown claw, so oh, it was a nightmare. Project say Kislev are very good at high TV. Only downside are catches, they cost same as gut runners but much worse. So you know,
they can't be nearly as fast, so yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, I can't wait to see how you do with Kislev. I think you'll enjoy them. You'll either love them or you'll get really bad rolls and get really frustrated and throw the control away. But hey, let's hope you.
Here's another little tip for you people: when you qualify, when you're in, like say you're like 2 weeks into the season and you're the top orc team, and you don't see another orc for 2 pages, stop playing.
Yeah, well, you said that to me.
He's never gonna be perfect. It's never gonna be perfect. But if you get in the playoffs, it's Blood Bowl. Anything can happen.
Well, you have a look at. Let's have a look at my team while we're here. Let's have a look at the Great White Shark. Obviously, I remember having a conversation with you and you were saying to me, Benny, do not play this team. And I was like, I gotta play it because it's not balanced. And then I think 2 guard pieces died that next game. I was like, oh, for fuck's sake. But then obviously, you know, I was like, here we go. Durrun will be laughing his head off. He'll be saying, I told you. But, you know, I'm glad I did because obviously I got to a point where there's balance. But as soon as I found out I was happy with them, I didn't play them for about 2-3 weeks. And I thought, oh, Durrun will be so proud of me because I just left them. And Gimlick was saying, no, you're going to play him. You're going to play him. I said, I'm not. I'm happy where they are. I'm not touching them. And there was a guy who was top on the Xbox called Space Magic W, and he accidentally span his chaos, and they lost 2-3 players in that game. And I was like, you know, that's why I didn't spin man. But I basically gone with the new rules where I didn't go with any piling on. Because obviously it's nerfed in the
I was going to say that's the one thing you kind of omitted, but that helped you bring a lot of balance to the team looking at it. So
yeah. I wanted to do it without the pile on, see how effective they are. But obviously, I mean, what do you think? Do you think it's balanced? I mean, I've tried to get as best I can. I mean, obviously, I've got 5 guard, 3 tackles, still got Mighty Blow and Claw, 2 nice ball handlers as well.
Well, everything looks good, but I hate agility on Chaos Warriors, but.
I know, I did, but he's so good. He's so good.
Yeah, but it just completely repurposes what you're supposed to be using him for, though, right? Like, he's not what he's supposed to be now.
Yeah, but the thing is, he's won me so many games. And the thing is as well...
I don't doubt it.
You know, it's like I don't think Projectia likes him very much either, because it's like you've got this strength 4, blood, agility, short-handed guy going, you ain't getting the ball off me unless you're really, really lucky. So all you strip ballers... fancy dancy war dancers jumping into my cage. You know, it's going to be 2 red die uphill. I've got guard around my cage. You good luck trying to break through that. So unless you get lucky, you know, and that's why I like him. And the thing was, because I was high TV, I was getting a lot of wizards on me. So I was like, armor 9's a lot better than armor 8. So, you know, I was the same as you when I first got. I was like, oh my god, I really don't want agility. But I thought, you know what, I'll try it. I'm so glad I did, because he really is a crazy piece, and he's been a lot better for me than the other guy who rolls a lot of ones. Oh look, there's Anani in the chat. Oh, we know that guy, don't we? We know who you are. Yeah, and it's with Durrun. Yes, Durrun is here. So yes. I was just
gonna say, but it kind of worked out well for you that you got dodge right after it, right?
Yeah.
Like if you never get dodge, agility just looks so much worse, right? But you got it immediately after.
Yeah, I must admit it was fantastic. It really was. As soon as I got the, because I was gonna go right, because after I got shorthand, I was like, I'm gonna get guard. And people were like, guard, really? I said, yeah, because at the end of the day, he can still hit. He can still mix in there. He's like a safety valve for my other thrower. And I thought, you know what? If I've got 2 of them, then, you know, if one goes down, I've still got the other one, sort of thing. So, you know, but like I said, though, as soon as I got dodge, it was like, oh, fantastic. The only piece really what I'm a bit of it is the strength 4 piece, the blodger. Legend Killer number 7, because I was like, apart from obviously he blitzes strength 5 or so was nice. I was sort of like, I could never get him any more. I could never get him any XP. So he's still a nice piece, I guess. But
looking at most of your team, it looks like everybody just leveled for the most part.
Yeah, that's basically what I was doing. I was trying to get them to where I wanted them, just that extra levels, and then it was like I just stopped them. I just stopped them there, because obviously I didn't want to push it any further. And obviously, some wise guy said to me, "If you're clear, don't play them." And obviously, I got to how I wanted them, and I thought, you know what? There's a few little things I could tweak, but I could play again, and then obviously, like you say, I lose a few players, and then I'm catching up again, and it goes downhill. So I got them to where I wanted them. And yeah, I would have liked to have got another level up on number 2 because only 5 away. But sometimes, I suppose, it can be an advantage if you're leveling up during the playoffs because you know who you're going against and you can tailor it to that position, can't you? So, there is that as well. Yeah.
Speaking about your position on the ladder, or just the position in general, and not playing, Aniana was actually in a advantageous position where he was so high up in Lizardmen, he could afford to play games to develop his players and not care at all about the win. He could literally lose 3 or 4 games in a row and it wouldn't cost him a spot, which is a great position to be in because then you can just totally focus on who do you want to get the SPP on. Because winning's irrelevant, and you just got to keep your team safe and build it. Like that's a great spot to be in.
Yeah, I mean that's it. I mean that I did something very similar with my case dwarfs on the Xbox as well. And people's like, God, you've lost a few, and it's like, yeah, losses don't hurt me now. Losing plays hurts me, but I need to level players, and that's a good position to be in. You'll see a lot of veterans will do that. I think Gimlick did it a few seasons ago when his Necro was absolutely killing everything, then started losing a few, and I think some of it was to bad fortune, but some of it was because he was trying to level up the right players. Because at the end of the day, I've seen teams go in there with either undefeated records or, top seeds, and they go out first round. It's just, to me, it's about getting your team ready, isn't it, for the playoffs? It doesn't matter if you've lost 10 games or 12 games. You've just got to make it. And, yeah, I mean, fair enough to him. I mean, if that's what he's done, then that's good. I mean, yeah, and Addy, we was talking about you earlier because I was asking who Abonanen was, and they said it was you. So, yeah, you can run into this team. That's fine. Don't worry about it. It's cuddling my team. Misunderstood. It's not the most killies team, I don't think. If it was it's not a calcium cast kill team. It's just a balanced team. But
if it was calcium cast kill team, there'd be 16 of them, and they'd all have claw mighty blow
and dare player as well. Yeah. So but I've gone for the balanced look, 5 guard,
which is a skill I've come around a lot on the past 6 months as dirty player. I like it a lot more now.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I mean, dare play is a really, really nice skill. Because if that starts working, I think Trippers did it in the final and maybe even the semi-final, where basically he just kept fouling and removing pieces, and he wasn't getting caught for it. I think he did that against someone did his Dark Elves in the final. He just took them all off. So dare play is a really good skill, especially on cheap, nasty things. It's a fantastic thing to have.
This dwarf team here at 1960 TV could be pretty good too.
Let's have a look. 960.
Minty work.
Oh yeah. As Cass calls him, Scummy Dave Wizard. Or Scummy Wizard Dave. He never forgives him after scumming a wizard.
I really like it because he's got 3 stand firms, so he can just shut down the 1 turn if you don't have Juggernaut. You just don't get it.
Yeah, and they're really, really annoying. I played against... I got knocked out by Case Dwarfs in both bloody cups, and the guy on the Xbox... when you roll bad dice and you can't get him down, and the thing was it was bad because he obviously had Stand Firm, so he was hitting me back or couldn't move him or anything like that. Stand Firm's a great skill. Absolute skill, a great skill. I've got it on my Case Dwarfs as well. It's just fantastic. It's another one of those skills what's not sexy, but you're glad you've got it. That and guard, they're amazing.
Watch this in. He's got all the tackle he's ever going to need. He's actually got it. I guess his Troll Slayer is his killer. Looks like he doesn't have developed blitzers though. He's a little. He's got 1 on the verge, but yeah.
Yeah, 2 nice strength up though. That they always help. But this guy doesn't lose many. He doesn't lose. He's always been very impressive. And look at that: 16 wins, 10 draws, no losses. So you can't.
Because he didn't play me.
Yeah, you've been.
I'm going to remove the O on the end.
I tell you what, you get more like Calcium Cass every time I speak to you.
No, I'm not even joking. I just have a knack. When I run into somebody who's got like 7-1-0 or a really good record but no losses, I seem to be the first loss. I don't know what it is, but I seem to be the guy that steals that 0 from them.
Yeah, it's like it's frustrating because I remember speaking to obviously when Serious Jest, he used to say, look, I can beat the good teams, but I can also lose to the worst teams. And it's about getting the consistency, and that's obviously right. I mean, this guy though, he's got 290k in the bank. That is a lot of
Oh, I
cash.
didn't even see that. Wow.
Yeah, that is a lot of cash. That's 140k bloat as well.
And
Um,
I myself in UKBBL have a strength 4 Troll Slayer, and I can tell you they're amazing
are
because he
they?
just his +2 to go after big guys and surf them is
Yeah,
awesome.
yeah. But yeah, he's gonna have a chance. He's definitely gonna have a chance. But I figured out that the Spanish players on the PS4 are extremely very good. They're all very good players. I don't think I'll come against a Spanish coach yet who's not very good. I don't know what it is with the Spanish because obviously the Spanish really are big American football fans, are they? So it's not like oh, this must be just very very intelligent people.
Of course, Gimli has another nice team.
Oh, Gimli Cole was there. I mean, he's just. Oh, I don't know. He's another stuntman, dude. He always gets the bloody stops. I mean, let's have a look at Last Try Undead. This I've seen this for a while. Look at this.
Well,
Oh,
he's got what you need to have an amazing team. 2 block mummies, like he's got the dream right there, and then all the disgusting strength ups on top of it just makes it
crazy, isn't it? Four strength ups. That is just disgusting. What's he got? Ooh, 4 guards
But
as
he's
well.
got them all where he needs them, except for that one zombie, right? Like the
Yeah.
whites and the ball handling ghoul have them, and then the mummies have block and guard to defend them. Like it's pretty
Yeah.
perfect.
I don't mind. I mean, I had a strength 4 zombie, and he used to do really well for me. So I don't mind it. But yeah, you prefer it on your whites and your ghouls and that. It makes them a lot more dangerous, especially if they got blodge like his ghoul has. Like I said,
Well, I don't mind the strength on the zombie after guard, but if he took it as the first skill, I would hate it. Like I would have
would you?
skipped it. I
Yeah,
would have taken guard over strength if I got doubles on the first level.
yeah. You'd be amazed how many people will not turn strength down on anything. It's just one of those things, isn't it?
It's
But
so good on a zombie though by itself. It really isn't.
yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I like guard. I must admit, guard. If you can get a few zombies with guard on, it makes the team far superior. And he's got that again, hasn't it? He's got that again. But yeah, I mean, like I say, he's got a good chance. Obviously, he was champion a couple of seasons back. Then he got hit by the curse last season. Returning champs usually go out the first round after winning it. So good luck to Trippers this season. So he's back again, and this team's got to be up there. It's got to be up there. Maybe we might have to tip it to win it. Maybe. Who knows? We'll see. Depends how much cash he pays me to not tip it. But yeah, he'll do well. Good to see some more.
I just want to take a quick look at Didi's team. I just realized he's the Bretonian team.
I tell you what, it's really good because there's 2 Bretonian teams in it this season. Sergal went Bretonian as well. So when we have
I saw
2...
that. Yeah, they were the last wildcard team, I believe. They got.
Let's have a look.
I think they took that wildcard number 8. I think they did. But I think they were the bubble boy because I was doing the math for a few days.
Yeah. So the Blind Crusaders. Let's have a look at what we have here. Just standard, aren't they? Oh, look, I like number 8. Number 8. There you go, you see. I tell you, my name is Lucky. King Bernie. Look at that. I'm telling you. I don't know why. It's just a lucky name. And I mean, he did tell me. He said, "Oh yeah, I've named him because obviously I had the returns what got to the final called the Stumandidis." He said, "I'm going to pay obviously respect straight back at him. I'm going to call one Bernie, but I'll call him King Bernie." I said, "I'm not being funny, mate, but he's quite a lucky name for some bizarre reason. I don't know why." And obviously there you go. Movement 7, agility 4, nerves of steel, sidestep, blodge. Oh, that's a nice piece. It's a really nice piece. I did say to him though, they usually die in the semi-final if they get that far. They never usually reach the final like me. But yeah, it's a nice team.
I'm looking at it, and I'm really not seeing any more opportunities to add guard though, which is a shame. Like if he gets an MVP on that blocker in the first game, that's probably it.
Yeah, I mean the only negative I've got with this team is obviously it's quite a high. It's a quite high team value, 1760 for what he's got. I mean, obviously he's got a couple of dead players. What's nice because obviously they're the peasants, but I think this team should be a lot better for the team value. I don't know about you. Obviously, he likes his 4 team rerolls.
4 rerolls probably. I just not know if he has 4 rerolls, but that's probably a playoff thing, right? Because he didn't get a leader piece. So.
He always takes 4 rerolls. He had I mean, when it was in the final, I was pleading with him to get rid of a reroll because he had 14 rerolls, a leader reroll, so he had 5, and then he won a reroll at 10-1, so he had 6 rerolls, and it still didn't save him. He still got his ass kicked, and I think sometimes 5 rerolls for an elf team is way too many. But this is how he plays, and he does crazy stuff, so that's why he says he needs the rerolls. But obviously he's a top class player. He is a great player, and he does some crazy stuff. But I said it wouldn't put him off it. Definitely not. But I don't know. I just think this TV is a bit high.
The whole point of the rerolls now is people are starting to pick up on the meta for playoff time. You really want that leader piece for overtime. You really, really do.
Yeah, because don't you get an extra reroll in overtime for the leader?
You get the leader reroll piece in overtime if you have your leader in overtime. So yeah, you get a reroll on top in overtime if you have your leader guy still on the field.
So there you go. Because I noticed a lot of people started doing it, and I was like, "Why are you all doing it?" And I could have sworn it was something similar to that, but you've just obviously clarified. So it's.
I mean, some people don't really have a choice when they take it because a lot of people don't have passing access on their teams, so they have to take it whenever it comes up, kind of thing. But a team like Brett's, they can wait till the end and just put leader on one of their blitzers if they want.
Yeah. Right, so let's have a look, just to be fair, let's have a look at the other Bretonian team. And Nobles Hispanios. Sergel plays Bretonians extremely well. What do you think of this team? I mean, this team's only got 15-20 value, so obviously there's a lot of chances to get Griff in the playoffs if he wants them. Is there anything you like about this team?
Well, I hate the armor ups instantly. Mm-hmm. Especially on the Blitzer, who could be at movement 8 and give him a really good one-turn threat.
Yeah, he seems to not like... He always seems to like to give his team armor. I mean, a lot of people used to take mick of his skinks. He'd never go movement, he'd always go armor with them. But,
Especially where he's already took sidestep right ahead of it. Like,
yeah.
Damn, movement next is amazing. Like,
yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. A movement 8 with sidestep, that would be that'd be just amazing. But yeah, he does like the armor upgrades. He really does. It's not going to do him any good if it comes against Mark Claw, though. That's the thing. There's so many things with Claw.
In the playoffs, how many Claw teams do you got now out of the box?
Oh,
Chaos
man.
is Claw, Necro is Claw, Chaos
Nagel,
is Claw,
Nurgle is Claw. There's 4 off the top of my head.
North
I'm sure.
Can have Claw if they take the Yeti.
Yep, says
Skaven
5.
can have Claw.
6. Underworld, 7.
Underworld. Yeah.
So there's just off the top of my head, there's 7. So armor really is... Go on.
All 7 of those could be wildcard teams too. So there's 14 teams potentially that all come in with Claw.
Very good point. Yeah. So you'd be right. It's a very good point. And I don't know. I just don't like it. I think you've got to embrace it. You've got Blodge, so that's always a good protection anyway. And he's got sidestep. Like I said, he's got sidestep. So surely, if that was me, you'd be like, "Hoo, movement, excellent." Right. That's a given. But he's got armor. Yeah. But he always does it. Like with Stummandini, he always takes the 4 rerolls. Sergel always takes the extra armor. So I don't know. But the only thing I like about this team is obviously it's got the potential to get Griff. And obviously I'm always going to have a soft spot for Griff. And put Griff in this team, and he all of a sudden looks a lot more dangerous. We saw last season someone using Griff right, and they won them games, and then we saw people using Griff wrong. And they lost games, so
he's got a little pop too. He's got a good killer. So
yeah. What's always useful if you can have one killer.
Tackle, Blodge, Mighty Blow with Dauntless is going to give him some opportunities to level the playing field.
Yeah. So like I said, there's some good teams there. The one I want.
Although now that I look a little closer, he's only got 3 blockers.
3 wrestle pieces. He always seems to come in with like an average team, though, doesn't he, Sergel? He seems like that's what he wants to do. I tell you what, Anania, holy shit, man! How on earth have you got a record with a team like that? You must be a bloody good coach to get all them wins with this team. I'm just looking at his Skink 2020 at the moment. Just for interest, he's got a really nice Skink movement, 9 sidestep sprint. So he's got like almost a 1-turner there. Plenty of guard, just a 1 break tackle piece. I think his concern is going to be veteran coaches who's just going to tag them Saurus up. and then just moved on
Well,
the
yeah,
field.
I kind of helped him out with this. He did have a move busted sneaky get skink, which I told him just to fire and
Oh
replace it
yeah,
with a fresh
yeah,
one.
yeah,
And it's
yeah.
because he was thinking about replacing the Crocs. I was like, no, no, no. Movement five Crocs is going to be fine. It's just too much money to replace.
That's it, isn't it? I mean, it depends obviously how many more games you're going to get in and stuff like that. But the good thing for him is he's
Even
obviously is low TV, so he will get a lot of inducements, and there is some really good inducements for lizards. So
and look at those sores too. 29, 27,
yeah,
and
yeah,
14 of 16. So if he can survive the first game, he may be looking at like a couple more level ups too on
yeah.
them. So
And that's it. I mean, like I say, it's always the look of the draw, isn't it? Something I never bloody ever have had, and I can only blame myself because I do the draw. Um, I mean, even this season, I had to go through just all the good coaches. It would be nice to have an easy draw. But saying that, I'll probably get an easy draw, get knocked out anyway. So it's just the way it happens. But this team has potential. I mean, like I said, I look at the team. It's solid. 3 guard pieces with block, 2 mighty blow for trying to get rid of players. He's got 1 nice skink, what obviously everyone will try and kill straight away. But obviously his record's fantastic. 18 wins, 5 draws, 2 losses. This team must have played really late because I didn't see this. And I came back on, and it was there. I mean, he drew 1-1 with Los Natos, who I think ended up being top of the Champions Ladder with Orcs. I think that's Flint Sorrow, if I remember correctly. It beat Cinemouse's final with Tappers. He got a good draw against Funny Hats, who was a decent coach. He got beat by Dwarfs. Don't really know. Bring it Halflings. I don't really know who that is.
well, his team's going to live or die with that skink, right? That's
Yeah,
pretty much what it comes down to.
yeah,
If that skink's alive, he's in the game.
yeah. Yeah, I think that skink's got to die. And that I suppose in a way that's the only problem when you just have the one skink because everyone will dial up for that skink, and it doesn't matter how well you protect it, someone's going to get a shot on it eventually. And then you just got to pray, his armor holds or or whatever. It was your
But his
dwarfs, was
TV
it?
is going to give him some opportunities too, right? Like he's
Yeah,
probably going to take Sybil and a wizard
Yep.
he's talking about.
Yep.
I told him I wouldn't worry about the wizards so much. If I could, I'd take Sybil and a couple babes just to make sure those guys come back on the field.
Yeah, yeah. I think a lot of people get too thinking in with the wizards. I mean, wizards are good, and obviously, like I said, they can be. I mean, obviously, against when we played last season, I cut the postman of all people to stop you from getting a wizard. But that was just a tactical thing more than anything else. But people, I think. I mean, my friend Bezo, he swears by the wizard, and sometimes like, yeah, but you could have got better stuff, and they're like, nah, I've got all the wizard, and then they use a wizard, it didn't work, and it's like, well, it's a one-hit thing. If it doesn't work or it is great, and in the playoffs, because you've got the veteran coaches that know how to handle against the wizard. So if you can get someone like 2 babes, that to me is fantastic. Like I say, you get your movement 9 skink knocked out, and it's a 4+. It's a 50-50 if it comes back. If it's a 2+, more than likely it will come back. And that's the sort of thing, isn't it?
And there's your 1-turn potential. If he got knocked out early and he comes back on turn 8 or turn 16, bam,
perfect.
you're right back in it.
But if he doesn't, then you're struggling, aren't you? And that's the thing. But yeah, I mean, like I said, I don't know if I've ever seen him play. I must admit. Apologies if you have played me, but obviously his record, and some good coaches played against there. So he's obviously a very good coach. So well done to him for making the playoffs.
It looks like the Ogre team has accepted their tickets.
It has,
so.
yeah. They heard that you was going to be playing it, so they've sabotaged it. Oh yes, that's a lovely team.
He took leader too on.
Yep. There you go.
Nobber. He only has 1 reroll though, which is. Did he go with it? No.
Yeah, that's
You never know
interesting.
what build they started with, right? Like. No, he only played 2 games, so no, it might have been the 6 reroll build. Or the 6 ogre build.
Yeah, it was the 6 ogre build. And thought, Phil laughs a bit. I'm just gonna mess about with it. And thought, you know what? I can't bother playing with these. And then it's like, hey, by the way, mate, you're in the playoffs. What? Yeah, no, that's them 2 wins. There you go. They're like, what? I'm in the playoffs? Yeah, man, go all the way now. I mean, the thing is, though, he will be able to. Be able to get a Halfling Master Chef. And no, Gimlick, you are not taking them first game. You are not having them. I want them. I want a good draw for once. This is my bloody 10th bloody season, and I've yet to have a draw what hasn't got a bloody champion or a kill team or anything was terrible. I want them, and I don't want them to get lucky on me either.
And another note: he's played 2 games, won them both. They were both concedes. So he
There
never even
wasn't.
finished them.
Oh man, that's that. Oh man, that I don't know what to say. I really don't. But yeah, I mean that's
Well,
what I
that brings me
say.
to the question that people have been talking about: is the 10 game minimum? Is that
Well,
going to be in effect for season 11, or is
look,
it still shell?
I basically I suppose have took this more on the Xbox than they did on the PS4, and I was saying we was all discussing it, and then they came up, the PC lads came up with this wonderful ranking system. What I ain't even gonna attempt to understand, but apparently this makes it a lot better that they can't sit on records like this. So yes,
Because
Anania
that's
is a
what's
2-0
going to
team. Yeah,
happen with ogres and halflings and those teams like that. They're going to win a game or two and go,
yeah,
"Wow, I'm top. I'm just going to
yeah.
leave it here and see what happens."
Yeah, and it's no good, and I know for a fact Nethos and that are not too chuffed about it. So basically, what we basically done is we're going to see how it comes with the new ranking system. If that doesn't work out, then I will be pushing. And I think Gimlick's quite in favour as well for a 10 game minimum, because at the end of the day, the Cyanide want these teams playing a lot, and they're not. They're basically just, I mean, they're just sitting on them. I mean, I think Cinemouse's team, yeah, they've played quite a few. The Halflings. We'll have a look, Cinemouse, just for you. Let's see what records he got with these Halflings. The lunchroom, yeah, 10 wins, 5 draws, 7 losses. So that's it. Sort of like anything around that sort of stat is great for qualification. And that's what teams should be encouraged to play, like 10, 15 games, not sit on 2-0 records. And like you said, it was 2 concedes as well. So you don't know if that was a blue screen or anything. So it's, it becomes luck more than skill, and we don't want that. So there you go. Go Flings. So there we go.
I did get him.
There's some
team.
teams.
I beat him twice.
Yeah.
I played him a couple times.
Yeah.
I
So
think I
there
blue screened once actually. I don't remember.
Yeah. But there you go. There's some good teams, and there we go. So we'll go off that because we've been on that for quite a while. One thing we'll have to have a look at before I get complaints, even though it's only just started. Let's have a look at the top team in the Champion Ladder 11. So what we've got Official. Now Official was an interesting one because he had his chops, like me, pretty soon and pretty quick, and then he decided to go on a Nagel kill team, a Chaos kill team, and went hunting, destroying teams. Are you a big fan of that? Where teams qualify and then create teams to wreck other people's playoff teams?
Well, there's no rule against it, right?
Nope.
It's part of the late game season. That's why I like to get an early start and try and get a team off the ground because you don't see that early on.
Mm-hmm. And
It's kind of
is
a late game dynamic.
I wonder if he's I mean, I don't know what he's supposed to say, but I wonder if he's copying a certain Durrun here with numbers 1 to 5 saying dollar. Yeah. He's already got a mighty blow claw piece already. That guy needs to die. I mean, Official, nah. He is. Is it fair to say he's a Cass wannabe, or is he better than Cass? He's a guy who basically just there for the kills.
He's not even in the same league as Glass. He's not even in my league, and I'm only average to good. Honestly, I don't think his play is very good. I think he's just kind of lucky a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, Groovy. Groovy always. I love Groovy. He's such a lovely coach. I talk to him a lot, but his dice, they are hot. He just doesn't fail anything. I think last season it was the first time he started failing some stuff with his Chaos Dwarfs. But by Jove, he just wrecks teams, and then he does his casual 5+ dodges and throws, and always seem to pay off. But I think Official is an interesting one because some people say he's a good coach, some people like yourself don't rate him, and then there's coaches like myself who think when bad things start to happen, he tilts very quickly.
Oh yeah, super quick. If you can get something, if you can rattle him on turn 1 or 2, you're in for a fun game because he won't come back.
I always think if things go in his way, he's a very, very good coach. But things don't go his way early on, then he a lot of say he does tilt a lot. But again, his Chaos Dwarfs are going to be nasty. And then obviously he's already started off here as well. And
the guy you just spoke of too, Gobi or Groby or whatever his name is. That's the Chaos Dwarf coach blue screened against yesterday. He was doing his usual lucky thing.
Yeah, yeah. I
Wrecking
mean,
all my orcs without anything. Like he
yeah,
used the minnow, and the Minotaur course was fantastic, and just
yeah.
removing half my team, and then the hobgoblins started breaking armor 9 like crazy, and just
Yeah, yeah, it's. He always did with me. The amount of people he killed on my team and all that. He didn't. Like I said, he just create like killy teams, but he doesn't need them because he just breaks. He's like Arzawin. They just break. It don't matter what they've got. There can be goblins. He'll still break armor. And like I said, I've spoke to him and he's a lovely guy. He really is a nice lad. But I've said to him, I said, you're the luckiest guy on the bloody on the game for dice. He has hot dice and he's like, yeah, I know, and he sees it as a fun thing and he embraces it. He never denies it. But yeah, he's another coach where you think he's still learning the game. He is getting better, but you always think, oh yeah, I've got a great chance of winning. But you're always worried that he'll do some crazy shit. Or you'll end up with like 3 players retired or something like that when you play him.
there's usually always a half a dozen plays or more from him specifically that you just scratch your head and like, how the hell did that work?
Yeah.
Roll sixes.
Oh yeah. Everything's good. Yeah, everything's good if you can roll sixes. I mean, it's fantastic. But yeah, it's going to be interesting how he goes. I mean, are you a big fan of bull centaurs with agility? Are you a big fan of making them into ball carriers, or are you like think I've got 2 bull centaurs and I'm going to use them for like frenzying, surfing things and hitting stuff?
I like it, but I don't have Chaos Storms on console, so I've only messed around with them on PC for a little bit. But yeah, but only if you get agility first. It has to be the first skill.
Yeah, and that's what he's done. He's got agility on the first skill.
If you don't get it first, you got to put it out of your mind. Just forget about it. If it comes up later, skip it. Keep going with whatever build you started for.
Yeah.
It's not worth it later, because then you're going to be changing directions most likely, which is not good.
Yeah, that's very true.
Because if you're going to take agility first, you want to skill them up fast, which means you've got to go agility, sure hands, and then probably block or break tackle.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, like I say, it'll be interesting to see how he does. He's always up there though, so yeah, I think he'll
I don't
do.
understand it. I don't understand it.
I always say some guys are just get all the roles. As SL Hunter says on the Xbox, they get all the roles. Trippers is another one who gets all the roles. Trippers is such a lucky fucker. I'm not bitter at all. But
yeah, speaking of Trip, he won last season, right?
Yeah, you know that thing what you said to me. You said the only chance I've got against Bear now is if the pitch invasion and all his players went stunned. That exactly happened to me on my kickoff against him. I was receiving a 9 of my players. I think it was 8 or 9 of my players all stunned on turn 1. So you was one kickoff from calling it, and that was it. But yeah, it's one of those things.
Yeah, the example he said about good teams and how they always seem to bounce out early. It's just, last season was the first season I can remember. Now, I don't follow every playoff that closely, but it's the first one I remember, if ever, where the projected 2 best teams actually met in the final.
Yeah.
I think DD and Trip were the 2 teams everybody was calling out when it started. So.
Yeah, I mean, Stuntman DD's team definitely were. They were definitely the one that was calling to get there, and Tripper's had quite a comfortable run until the quarterfinals. He had a lot of good matchups, but he got it done. And the thing I like about Trippers is he doesn't get flustered. He's Mr. Iceman. And he got it done, and he deserved to win it. I mean, as much as I take the mick out of him, and he takes the mick out of me, and I was so happy to have him and Stuntman Didi in the final because they're both top blokes, they're both real nice people, and I was so happy for both of them to do well. Yes, Hunter was talking about who gets all the roles. I won't even hear on the moment I join all the roles is mentioned. Yeah, well there you go. You see, we just talking about Trippers getting all the roles, but
I roll double ones.
Yeah, yeah, that's the rules we get. But yeah, it's one of those things. But it's a bit of a worrying that the Chaos Dwarfs roll up there. I tell you one thing, what I always think about Chaos Dwarfs is Chaos always get the flack, but Chaos Dwarfs never do. And Chaos Dwarfs can, I know it's on the double, but they can get deadly teams as well, and they've got all the other things as well. But Chaos Dwarfs seem to not get any flack. Do you know what I mean? I don't get it because I'm fed up of playing them. I always seem to go up against them.
So many of them, right?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
many Chaos Dwarves things out there now. The last couple seasons, it's just been Chaos Dwarves. Like more, like used to be all Chaos, but now it seems to be all Chaos Dwarves. Like they seem to be definitely the dominant team you see the most of on the ladder.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I got to the point where I was so fed up of playing against them. I actually created a chuff team on the Xbox and qualified with them for the season 10 playoffs. And I'm like, they're all right. I don't mind them, but I don't know. I don't feel comfortable with them. But it is what it is, I guess. But it seems like they're really, really popular. Lizardmen are another team what always seems to be very popular in the champion ladder. The only thing I don't like about them is there's a lot of things now, like elves can leap into a cage and just slap the skink. Kislev, another team, what can slap the skink. Then you've got, like we was talking about earlier, all that claw, what can negate the Saurus armor. So that's the only reason why I don't really play lizards these days, because there's a lot of massive weaknesses now. And when you get to the playoffs, all these developed teams, I always think lizards are always going to struggle. Um,
That's what I tell people with their orc teams too. Like typically, your first blitzer, you give them mighty blow,
yep.
start you down the killer path, and the second one, it's everyone people that used to go guard a lot. I tell them take tackle now because of Legendary Edition. There's just
Yep.
so many stunties with dodge out there. You've got to take tackle so much sooner.
Yeah, yeah, and that's the thing, isn't it? I usually go guard heavy on my orc teams when I do them, because they need it, especially to help protect against claw as well, so they don't get like 2 dice against you. But yeah, I mean, tackle is obviously another thing as well, as that you've got to get that now. I tell you, another team what's very popular at the moment is Elven Union. Can you put your finger on why they're so popular? They seem to be extremely, extremely popular, in my opinion.
They're just new elves, I guess. A new variation for people who like to play elves. They're the quote unquote better high elf team, basically. So.
Because I kind of look at them, and I mean, I've created a team. I've created an Elf Union team, but I don't know if I'll ever use them. But it seems like a lot of people play them, and I'm just saying, all the armor 7. Why I might as well just be wood elves, because I get myself a nice, lovely tree, 2 war dancers out the cage, and the rest of the pieces are pretty good as well. I don't know.
Well, yeah, that's just it. The armor 7 is what throws me off. It's like, how are these better high elves? High elves have armor 8 everywhere except for the catchers.
I mean, I like the strength 3, I like the nerves of steel. The catchers, I get that, and the side step's a nice little thing for the blitzers, I suppose. But I just look at them, and every time I say, "Come on, Bear," they play them. I'm like, no, let's play Wood Elf. Wood Elf are a better deal than Pro Elves or Elf Union, whatever they call them now. I don't know. But I'm glad people are playing them. I mean, like I said, it's good that a lot of people are using all these different elf teams, and we've got someone called Captain Gargo on the Xbox, who's one of the best players, and he plays them a lot, and he's fantastic with them. But to me, I just feel every time I look at them, I think if I'm gonna go elf, I might as well go wood elf, because they're just a lot better.
That's my understanding of elves. If you're going to play elves, you play wood elves or dark elves. You don't play high elves or pro elves.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Two
Yeah,
inferior teams.
yeah, absolutely. So I don't know. Yeah, Hunter's saying the blitzers are armor 8 and they have 1 extra skill. Yeah, but yeah, I still don't think. I still wouldn't.
That's not that big a deal.
Yeah. No, I don't think so. And Andy's saying high elves the worst of the elves, and I think a lot of people will agree with that. I would like them to have 4 blitzers, or something to give them a reason to have them. That's what I like about the dark elves is they have 4. They have 4 blitzers. And like I say, Stuntman DD, he doesn't really take much armor 7. He likes the armor 8. And like I said, 1 skill, you got 4 bludge blitzers, and then you can give them side step if you wish. So, I can see why they're really, really good. But with high elves, it's like, your thrower, he's got safe throw, that's nice. But apart from that, it's the same as any other elf. Any other elf thrower. And then you've got your 4 catchers, I suppose, strength 3, armor 7. But I don't know, I just... They're not very quick either, are they? Let's be honest.
Well, I had a super developed high elf team in OML. That was the team I ran back then, the Holy Rollers, and I just designed it to go flat out offense. And when you do that with high elves, they're actually pretty good. You just ignore everything else. Like I had no tackle on the team, none. I just and I never got a double for strength or anything. I got a little lucky. I got nerves of steel on both my catchers, so they were pretty disgusting because
Yeah,
I just literally ran them down the field, and then my thrower would just bomb it every time. So two
yeah,
turns.
yeah. I mean, that's
Could
it.
not be stopped.
I mean that's the thing. I mean, I've gone Skaven on the Xbox. Well, I've got a few teams, and I have this tendency to like shit. I've got to score first turn or second turn. I don't want to be at the back. And then the last game I played against Orcs, and I was like, you know what? We're going to just stay at the back. We're not going to score quick. We're just going to stay at the back and just chill the fuck out. And then obviously the Orcs were chasing me all over the place, and I've got these movement down gut runners. We're just running away from him. And I was like, oh, this is fun, you know, just running away. And as it is, I broke his armor more times than he broke mine. You know, like from removals, and he's armor 9, I'm armor 7, and I had like 10, 11 Skaven on the pitch, and he had 8 Orcs, and I was like, oh, this is good. You know, it's lovely. You know, I'm just moving about, and you know, I could do like, you know, where you have these smoke mirrors. You say you're going one way, he bites on it, and then you switch the other way, and it's going to take him like 3 turns to catch you, and you're already gone. So you know, I'm sort of learning with
That's what
Skaven.
Orcs have to do, though. They have to pressure those teams that hang back. The problem is you can't overcommit. At best, you can send like a blitzer and along, a couple blitzers up the field. That's it. Everybody else has to stay right around midfield.
Yeah, yeah.
But if you overcommit at all, you send even 3 players, you're doomed.
Yeah, absolutely. Hunter's basically saying in chat that he likes the if you give him obviously blodge sidestep in Elfudian Blitz has got a lot better chance of surviving. He's on about a cage leaping, war dancing, much more likely to die. Well, yeah, because you're going into a cage. So that is obviously. But the thing is, you could go and get sidestep next if you really wanted sidestep, you know. But I don't know. I just think. I like to say I don't really play Elven Union. Maybe if I played them, maybe I'll appreciate them more. But they all got banged up in the playoffs pretty badly. I don't know. It's maybe a team I need to play, but I probably won't play them in the playoffs. I don't think. I think Rats. See, the thing I don't know about you, Durrun. The thing I like about Rats is if you get lucky, you can get Mighty Blow, Claw, piling on killers. So you still get your bit of biff, and you can still get your speed and everything. And you know, and I've seen like Projecki's had some nice builds, and obviously Gardley's very good with Skaven as well. And you know, I just think Rats are a lot better. Or Wood Elves. I suppose the thing with Wood Elves is all agility 4, so you can disengage, can't you? That's the thing. And they've still got.
Well, Skaven give you the easiest and best chance to get a 1-turn piece, right? So
Yeah. I've never. Yeah. I mean, that's the thing. I'm thinking, oh, maybe this time if I play Skaven, maybe I'll be the guy who'll get lucky with a 1-turner or something. I don't think I've ever had a 1-turner before. So yeah, it'd be quite good. You gotta
get the movement, right? It's not worth. Yeah. It's not really worth putting sprint on before you get movement. You got to get movement first.
Oh yeah, yeah, absolutely. But then again, do you really need to make 1-turners though? Because you know, with a few pushes, you basically got it. I mean, because if you have a 1-turner, people will try and kill it, and then 2, you'll be like, oh well, I'll put it on the bench, or you know, all of a sudden you lose that extra gut run. You sort of not as aggressive with it. And then you're down to like 3 just for that one chance of it doing something.
You can run 3 gutter runners fine, I think. 3 gutter runners is more than enough, and you need to sit the 1-turner to do his job, right?
Yeah, because then that's one less than 2 piece on the pitch as well, I suppose. I don't know. I'm not sure.
Well, presumably one of those other 3 gutter runners is going to be a ball stripper. So if he's sitting on the bench, then the other guy's stripping the ball. So.
Yeah, but yeah, like I said, they look pretty good. So. We will see. Right then, so let's get on to the next thing. We're going to talk about peace, and we thought because obviously Durrun's on the show, we'll go with orcs, and we have decided to go with an orc thrower. So Durrun's going to tell us with all his wisdom. Let's have a look. In fact, I was just thinking.
Look at my current team.
Oh. That was close. You know what? I pressed the wrong button. I almost started spinning on Wood Elves. Oh my god, that would have been horrendous. I would have got matched then. Let's have a look. Yeah, let's have a look at your wonderful. You've got throw on your team, haven't you?
Oh yeah. He's just not what I would recommend to do with your thrower if you're trying to do something normal.
Oh yeah. I'll have a look anyway. Now I'm intrigued. Let's have a look at him.
Well, you obviously didn't notice it earlier. So
I didn't, did I? Oh my word, block and pan. Oh man. Oh dear, let's get off that one
Yeah.
because people are gonna. Let's see what my throw is like. Let's see if I can find him. Come on, where are you? Here we are. Let's have a look at the Auckland Cowboys. Let's have a look. Have I got a throw on this team? Oh, here we go. Here's a nice thrower. He's only got block, and that's there we go. So Mike Grog, let's get him up. So the only thing I've done with this is give him block on man, but obviously it's just so people can have a look at what we're talking about.
Your other one is leader.
Yeah. I don't know why. It was a long time ago. So tell us how you would obviously should set up an oak thrower because obviously you know what you're talking about. How would you set these guys up?
Well, the main reason you want a thrower is because of that skill that sits between block and pass called sure hands.
Yep.
Which is a big advantage that orcs can have that a lot of other bash teams do not start with, such as Chaos and Lizardmen and Necro and Underworld gets them, but there's a lot of teams that just are agility 3, and they don't get sure hands. And sure hands is just such a game changer to just start your drive and get it moving because we all know blitzes suck, and they happen a lot at the start of a game. And if an elf gets a blitz on you and you can't control the ball and your turn, you're screwed immediately and you just lose. Yeah. But that little piece right there can help that from not happening.
Yeah, I mean, I've been. Some guys have said what the thing is with an orc thrower. The first skill you're gonna get is block. So
almost every time it will be block. Yeah.
So they're saying, well, why don't you just have an orc blitzer and then give him sure hands as his first skill?
Because you have sure. It's just better to start with sure hand. And because he's got pass, you can short pass it off. Hand it off to somebody. You just make sure he gets it. And rain happens. Rain's a thing. The weather events are real, right? So.
Yeah.
You don't want to turn yourself into Kemri.
No. I like sure hands because obviously it saves you from strip ball. I mean, obviously no one has strip ball straight off the bat, but it's good to have that. And then, like I said, the amount of times I've won games or got myself out of trouble with passing with an orc is amazing because people will not realise the threat of an orc passer. And it's like, look, they're agility 3. They're pass the same as a bloody human thrower. But the times I've put blitzes and stuff for as potential catchers, and people will just ignore them, going, "Yeah, you ain't throwing that ball. You trying to kid?" And they'll leave them open, and I'll go and throw it, and they're gone. I think they're a good thing to have. And obviously, sometimes I quite like getting for a bit of fluff purpose, give them Hail Mary just for the laugh of it. So if I do get in trouble, I can just lob it away. I think that's always a good skill.
Basically, try and think of your orc thrower as Alex Smith. He's just there to manage the game.
Yeah, that's a good thing.
He dictates who gets the score, the pace, the flow. He starts the drive. It's what he does. That's his job. That's his role. Yeah. Now, if you're lucky enough, if you're super lucky to get agility or strength up, it changes everything.
Yeah, absolutely. So if you say, for instance, this is your guy now. Obviously, you've got block, so you've got your normal skill, and then obviously your raw strength. What sort of skills would you get after that? Say, for instance, this guy's strength 4.
Well, after he gets strength, he's pretty much turned into the ball carrier at that point. So you probably want.
Yes, Hunter, I do know Alex Smith, the quarterback of Kansas City Chiefs. Oh, an Englishman knows his American football. I do know Alex Smith. Very solid player, nothing great. And I always remember when he throws a long bomb, the announcers get really excited, especially if the guy catches it. Because obviously no one expects him to throw deep because he's more about game management. He's a good player though. I like him. I like him. It's just that he's not an Aaron Rodgers, but not many people are. But sorry. Back to what you were saying. So you've got your strength 4. So he's basically obviously your orc thrower. But what else would you give him though? I mean, obviously, what would best suit this guy after getting the strength?
There's not really much else to tell you. You could keep going with the throwing skills. You could give him accurate if you want. Like I said, you could give him fend if you want. But I still primarily I use the orc thrower as a game manager. My objective on a good drive, my orc thrower does not score. He gives it to somebody else and they score.
Yeah.
Usually, if I'm scoring with the thrower, things got really, really hard.
Yeah,
or conditions changed, or I ran out of rerolls and I can't afford to hand off anymore. But
yeah. I
and
just
a 4+ pass with a reroll is not the end of the world. Like I throw a ball all the time,
yeah,
all the time. I just sling it, and it works way more often than not.
yeah.
So
I like saying
it surprises people too.
if you get accurate if you get accurate as well. Yeah, that is what I was going to come up with, Hunter. You beat me to it. Then basically, I think he's looking at my script as Hunter. Um, I think with my orc throwers, one thing I will definitely get is kickoff return because we're only movement
Kick off
5.
return, yeah.
To move 3 squares after the ball is kicked is massive, absolutely massive. And I think it's one of the best skills you can get on an orc thrower by a mile. But I mean, like I said, if you get strength on this guy, you've got a strength 4 orc thrower in a cage with sure hands. That is fantastic because all of a sudden these war dancers with strip ball jumping into your cage, and don't forget because you're orcs, you're gonna have tons of guard anyway, so it's gonna be 2 red die uphill. Um,
Yeah. You're probably going to have 2 or 3 black orcs on the corners of your cages.
Oh, absolutely,
and
absolutely. So I mean, I think throwers are good just because of the show hands and obviously the pass option, and it does surprise a few people out on it. So I'm a big orc thrower. I know Hunter's a big orc thrower. You obviously are, but you'd be amazed how many people don't like them.
Oh no, I hear it every day on stream.
Yeah, but I got them.
People don't like my orc throwers.
Yeah, but is that because
Fire.
is that because you called it Calcium Cast? Is that why? Because he was called Calcium Cast, wasn't he? Your orc thrower.
On the last team, yeah, I think so.
Yeah,
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 but,
there you go. I don't know. He should be called Bernie. That's who he should be called. And you'll get a real nice piece like Stuntman Didi got. Because it's a lucky name, apparently. Johnny Depp. Orc throwers are one of the worst pieces in the game. It's not. I can't see why people think that. They're armor rate, they're agility 3, strength 3.
I don't understand it either.
I don't get
It's the movement.
hair.
People can't get over the movement. I think they think if it was move 6 for the same price, all of a sudden it's good. I don't think the movement matters that much.
Yeah, because you're not. I mean, in an ideal world, movement more would be great, but then it'd be more of an expensive piece. And the thing is, orcs are granders. They're not there to score quickly. You can do with a bit of luck, but to me, like I say, it stops you from burning rerolls. What's good because obviously you get the reroll with the short hands. So how many times do we go and pick up the ball and have to burn a reroll to get on the second attempt, even though you'd probably need a 3+ or whatever? That stops that. It also negates strip ball. What's fantastic is a lot of these teams like Skaven, all the elf teams have all these days have got a strip baller in there. So it stops that. And like I said, if you get agility or you better get strength on this, a strength 4 block, sure-handed orc thrower protected by black orcs, with guard and all that, he's as safe as houses. I just don't get why people have the hate. And if you really want, like Durrun said earlier about the tactics in the playoffs, is you can smack leader on him as well.
Exactly. Easy leader access for playoff time.
So
as soon as he levels up near the playoffs, you slap a leader on him.
So I like them. I like them a lot. Yes, the big negative is the movement 5, but at the end of the day, your Black Orcs only move 4, your fastest things only move 6.
Exactly.
So it's not like the others are like flying out the gate and he's just left by himself. So and usually your Black Orcs will be protecting this guy because your blitzers, if anything, will go for the crazy passing and stuff like that. So yeah.
It's very unlikely you're going to be using 0 Black Orcs on your cage. So your cage is only ever going to move 4, most likely anyway.
Yeah.
So why does 6 movement matter?
Yeah, Project is saying 5 movement sucks. It's almost like Black Orc. But yeah, it's going to be protected by Black Orcs, though. That's the thing. So, I would be thinking, like, you know what? I would give him accurate. And don't forget, this guy, can he get... Oh, he can't. I would say, can he get strong arm? But he can't, can he? That's a bloody strength. That's something what I would like to see on an orc. Because the big strong things, give them strength access. That'd be awesome then. But like, yeah, get accurate and stuff like that. And I think these are good. I like them. I really do.
I actually don't like strong arm for the simple fact that then you've pretty much committed to making him a pure passer, and to do that you need a receiver, which means you better have a couple blitzers with catch, and that's just not likely. So
I don't know. I mean, it depends when you get the strong arm. I mean, something I wouldn't take early, but if you get that later on, I think it gives you another potential of doing it if need be, because there's going to be times where you're going to need it, and if you get it as a 5th, 6th skill, then I don't see a problem with it. But it's just basically just another just another chance to throw it, isn't it? You bet better
The
odds.
problem with your blitzer taking catch too is you're really going to take catch over dodge.
Oh
You're
no,
really
you
gonna
wouldn't.
take it
No,
over
no,
jump up
no, you wouldn't
pretty
take.
low. Like
No,
it's going to be hard to get far enough down the line and to actually take catch on a blitzer. So
Yeah,
the
but
only
the
other
thing-
player who can take it is
yeah.
Goblin, I guess.
Yeah, but the thing is, yeah, I mean, obviously the goblins, you can give them catch, so you could just bang them up there. But what I'm saying is, you don't really need to take catch on a blitzer because there's still catch on a 3+, and you'll have the reroll if you got a reroll in the bank because obviously he's got the pass skills, so you won't barely reroll at this end; he'll be at the other end. So I just like it. I mean, it's like I say, it's just another way of trying to be more balanced. Obviously, plan A is to ground it, but if you can or you need to score quick, then sometimes having strong arm could be, a game changer, and I think it's a good thing.
The teams that are built for passing, and if you're going to make your orc built for passing, they all have the built-in rerolls on the pass and catch, and that's just something the orcs don't have, right? So to build your orcs around a passing game by taking strong arm, I think you're going to limit yourself quickly. I get it; it's only a 3+ catch, but he's got to be not based. He's got to be free. He's got to. It's just it usually doesn't work. You usually just want to be making those short handoffs or passes. So strong arm is usually not really that relevant in those situations.
Yeah, but it's the thing is though, it's like, let's say you got your strength 4, obviously. What kick off for 10, and then it's like, what other skills are going to be useful for this guy? Nothing really apart. You got accurate, I suppose. What else do you take? I mean, you're not going to take safe throw usually. Leader, you could take leader.
Leader's probably in there,
yeah.
But leader can help control your TV, even if you're not gung ho on having 4 rerolls for the playoffs. You can always just cut it to 2 and just shave your TV by 30.
Yeah, so it's, I don't know. I think when you get to late development, I think strong arm is, I'm not saying it's perfect, but I just think, late on, I would definitely look at getting that. Obviously, the only thing with that is, obviously, if you roll for strong arm, there is obviously dodge. So obviously, you probably take dodge before you take strong arm.
And dodge is going to be way better if he's standing in the middle of the cage, probably.
Yeah. So that's obviously the other option. But no, I mean, like I like all throwers, and obviously you do. Fenn's decent, yeah. Fenn's okay, I suppose. But I would be thinking with Fend is that he shouldn't be hitting my ball carrier anyway. That thrower should be being protected. Maybe on a defensive throw, but I only take 1 thrower, so I don't know. Project is saying Armor 9 ball carrier with 6 movement is better than 8 AV movement 5, Durrun. So I don't know what you want to say to that.
Well, but then you're gonna. You're looking at them not the way I see them. I don't look at orcs as I don't want a designated ball carrier. I don't want a designated. I just don't want one guy to get the ball. If you spread the ball around on orcs, that's how you build up your team. You balance it.
Yeah.
If you develop one orc blitzer for the sole purposes of scoring all your touchdowns, you're going to leave every other orc in the dust, and they're never going to level. Just that one guy is going to run away with it, and then your whole team revolves around that one guy. And if he goes down, your whole team falls apart.
Yeah.
And orcs don't function well like that.
The way I always answer it is this: you have 4 blitzers. Do you really want one of your blitzers hiding in a cage? He should be out there blitzing stuff and breaking stuff. Hiding one of them in the middle of a cage when you've got an orc thrower who can do the job better and has sure hands. And people say, oh, well, give you blitzer sure hands. Yeah, but that's a skill you've given him. He didn't need that skill if you take the thrower. I don't know. I like the orc thrower. My blitzers, I want out there cracking heads and fighting and beating stuff up, and they've got the extra armor to take the hits. I'll leave my thrower in the cage, and we'll look after him. And I think having a blitzer in the cage is just wrong. They're not built for that. They're built to hit stuff.
Yeah, well, setups change everything, right? So if you're just looking at a thrower with his regular skills, he's still not bad, but he's just a game manager, right? Like basically, he sits in your cage. You use your Black Horse and your blitzers to force your cage down the field in the middle or either side, whichever way gives the least resistance.
Yeah. And
then when you get close to like turn 6 or 7, hopefully you've got a couple re-rolls and you hand that ball off, and then you get the SPP on the piece you want.
Yeah. I tell you one thing. I like people who've said to me they don't like orc throwers, but you know what? The funny thing is, they roll agility on the Lan Orc and they take it. And I'm like, well, why have you took agility on your Lan Orc? He's only movement 5. what are you going to do with him? You know, oh yeah, well he can do this, he can do that, he can do this. Well, he's still only movement valve. I think it's worse to take an agility on the line hook because what you're going to do with him is not going to out sprint people, you know, and get into a position to be any good.
No dodge, no block.
No,
he's slow.
Yeah,
like
so.
He's just...
but they swear by it, but they don't want an hook thrower. I just don't get it. I really don't. Projectis said about, obviously, he's just mentioned, obviously, I don't know what he's getting at, but he said, let's have a look if I can find it again now. He said, well, Bernie, you've got a Case Warrior ball carrier. Yeah. And you know what? He's amazing. I know Durrun doesn't like him, but then, you know, but the thing is, Durrun doesn't.
Dodge immediately after.
Yeah, but the thing is, again, though, to be fair to Durrun, a Case Warrior's role is to control the guard and beat the shit out of stuff. This, you know, and this Orc thrower's job is to retrieve the ball and look after it. A Case Warrior, I suppose, isn't. But, you know, I love it. He's only movement 5, you know, and he's a godsend. He saved me so many games, and won me so many games, and, you know. And he's only movement 5, like the same as a thrower. So, you know, you can get around, obviously, you can get around movement with these basher teams. Chaos are the same. You're not going to try and score quick with Chaos. They're like movement 6, movement 5. So, obviously, you know, I'm not sprinting that far ahead. And I see the same thing with the Orcs. And, you know, I just...
The only downside with taking these slower players as your ball handlers is when you get down towards the end and you realize it's turn 7 and you're 8 squares away, and then you're like, oh crap, now I gotta do something explosive and I don't have the movement. Those are the situations where it sucks. But
but if you've got like Black Oaks,
usually you come from you didn't get any removals and you're still playing against the full team.
That's it. I mean, that's basically it. If you're having to struggle, that's because you haven't got the removals or something happened. But if you've got a lot of guard, as you would with Orcs, you can push your Black. You can even start basing with Black Orcs, guard to guard, and you're going to be pushing them back because they ain't going to be able to get the rolls on you. Unless, obviously, you're Hunter who gets all the rolls. You know, so you'll be pushing them back anyway, you'll be hitting them. I had that happen to me today with a high elf player, and he was just trying to match me up, and I was like, no, that ain't going to happen, buddy. You know, I was breaking him left, right, and centre. So you know, there is ways around it, and you know,
ideally you want your 2 front pieces of your cage to be 2 Black Orcs, and you want them to have block guard and stand firm, and then you can just constantly push your cage forward. You'll get a square every turn.
That's basically it's beautiful stand firm. I love stand firm. But yeah, so there you go. I mean, throwers are just, I personally like them. Durrun does. I know people don't. And the thing is that everybody's got their own opinion. And I suppose it would be boring if we all had the same standard. You know, we'd all have the same standard sort of mindset, and we all have the same teams and all the same skills. So it's always good for people to do different. I always like to see teams what basically, I'm like, wow, I haven't seen that sort of set before or whatever. So fair play to you.
Chaos Dwarves are boring.
Case Dwarfs, yeah. I mean, dwarfs are the worst. Dwarfs are terrible. I mean,
I like Dwarves. It's just I'm a little over Chaos Dwarves. People play them so much.
Oh yeah. I mean, I mean, it's like Gimlick. He laughed his head off because obviously I talk to Gimlick a lot when I'm spinning and all that sort of stuff, and it's like, for God's sake, Gimlick, I've got bloody Case Dwarfs again. And I'll finish that game and I'll get Case Dwarfs again, and then you get to a certain high TV and then they kill you. So that's why I was like, bollocks to this, I'm going Chaos. So if I end up fighting these guys, I'm going to be fighting them and I'm going to be ripping them in a new one. So then all of a sudden it's like, oh, I've got Case Dwarfs again. I ain't really scared. I've got Mighty Blow and Claw and everything as well. So, you know, that's one of the reasons why I went Chaos. But yeah, Case Dwarfs, yeah, you see too many of them, don't you? I mean, I like variety, like you say, but I know people who never see them.
How many Chaos Dwarf teams there were last season on the ladder, like sort of thing, because they've got to be the number 1 team.
They felt like there was loads of them. I don't obviously have the record to hand, or if anyone can get them. But yeah, it's always annoying, isn't it, when you keep playing the same team over and over again. I remember when I think it was Blood Bowl 1 first came out with set, and you had so many teams, and you always bloody ran into dwarfs. And it's like, for God's sake, you tried to play something different, and you always ran into dwarfs, and it was like, oh my God, dwarfs again, because everybody used to play dwarfs. And I think that's the same with the Case Dwarfs now. So you never know. We'll see if it's going to be a craze or whatever.
That's what was funny yesterday on the ladder. I just played 4 games against 4 different races, and I said, "Oh, I haven't played any Chaos Dwarves yet. They're bound to be next." And sure enough,
Yeah,
that's what I drew.
But I suppose the thing is, like I say, I think, like you said, if they can get Claw and that, you've got the solid reliability of the Case Dwarfs, you've got your 2 Bull Centaurs, you've got your nice cheap fouling Hobgoblins, I suppose. So, and then the thing is as well, is obviously Trippers has just won the championship with Case Dwarf, so that'll be like, oh yeah, And obviously on the Xbox, the Case Dwarfs got to the final as well. So you can see why all of a sudden people are looking, going, bloody hell, look at this. And then there's cash on the line as well, so people are like, right, which is going to be the most OP thing I can get? Oh, Case Dwarfs do well, go with them. And I can see why people do it. But it is boring seeing them all the time. It is. It bores me to tears. It really does. But it is what it is, I guess. So hey ho, it is what it is. I'm talking about stuff. I mean, what is your view on this? I mean, obviously as admins, we was talking about various things. The Xbox have gone to the bold decision of going to 2 minutes like the PS4. So obviously that's, dare I say, has been a very positive outlook over the first day or so, where some people was apprehensive of it, but now seem to start to enjoy it because obviously, hey, you get more games in, and if you've only got like an hour or so to play, you can play it. But the interesting one I wanted to talk to you about more than anything is there's this thing about wildcards, and obviously PC have gone a different direction to the consoles. The consoles have said, nope, we like how the wildcards are at the moment, where basically, as it stands, the rules are for your 8 wildcard spots, it's the next best 8 highest ranked teams, so you can have like 2 of each race. Where PC have decided, you know what, we're going to do a bit of fluff, and they tell you which of the 8 races get the wildcard spot. So, it's not the best 8 anymore.
Oh.
It's the 8 they decided. So they'll say, right, it's elf and humans this season. So obviously the elf and humans would get the extra wildcard spot. Do you prefer it like having a theme like that? Or would you just prefer saying, look, it's the 8 best teams. The most you can have is 2 of each race. Which one would you prefer?
Here's the problem. If you don't rig it, you're kind of sabotaging your playoffs, aren't you? Because you can just pick, okay, what are the most competitive teams? We want all of them to have wild cards. Or you can just say, well, we're going to give all these legendary teams wild cards, and just, you bloat your playoffs with 16 trash teams, basically, right? So
yeah,
you should just take the next best 8. I thought what you were going to say is to just take the next best 8, period, which I thought would be a little not as good either, but that sounds better than what they're going to do. Just because who picks the 8 teams? How are they picked?
I think basically, I think Mess is actually in chat. He might say it, but they've got it on like a revolving sort of rotor, I think. So they've got for this season they'll have 8, and the next season of the next 8. They're all themed. So they've already picked ahead of time, and obviously as soon as this new season starts, they'll say this season these 8 teams they've got the wildcard spot. But I mean, I'm not a fan of it. I'll be honest, I'm not a fan of it. It's like, oh yeah, look, because there'll be times where you're going to get 2 halfling teams, or 2 ogre teams, or 2 goblin teams, and it's like, oh yeah, wonderful, fantastic, yeah, because everybody has already proven that they play them really a lot. Like we've seen, 2-0 ogres. Oh, so what's going to happen? Oh, we're going to get 2 ogres with 2-0 records or something like that. I just think it's an absolute disaster. I think it's people going, oh look, we're bored. What can we do? Oh, this works, let's fuck it up. And go completely different. Luckily, obviously, like I said, the PS4 admins, we always vote on stuff like this, and we was pretty much like, no, we'll keep it as it is, because at the end of the day, why should we force coaches to go and play, oh, you want that extra wildcard spot? Well, you're going to have to play halflings, or you're going to have to play goblins or whatever. I just don't think that's fair. I really don't. I think you should be allowed to choose.
Look at the excitement PC just had on the final day. They had Jimmy Fantastic, Andy Davo, and Crimson Fox all battling it out for 2 chaos spots on the last day of the ladder.
Yeah, and that's
like that's going to go away if there's only 1 chaos spot available, right?
Yeah.
Because if somebody runs away with it earlier, then nobody else is going to play that. Because on PC, they grind and put up crazy records. Sometimes.
They do.
Like,
I mean, and
33, 2-1 or something stupid. Like nobody's going to top that. So then that race is just off the board.
And that is exactly the reason. I mean, like when I went with my my Necro team last season, Gimlick raced away and he had Necro sewn up, and if they weren't for them wildcard spot, there's no way I'd have attempted it because he was so far ahead. There's no way I would have gone for it because I knew there's a wildcard spot. I thought, you know what, I can still get that. But if Necro wasn't one of them 8 teams picked, then it's like, well, okay, that's another race you can't do. And like say on the PC, you'll get after about a week, you'll see about 4 or 5 races, they'll be miles clear. And if they've not got a wildcard spot, that's it. People just won't play them. And that is a dangerous precedent to go down. Maybe because it's the PC, they have so many coaches, it won't affect them. But I thought that on the console just reeks danger. It just reeks like, people are going to say...
It will affect them, though.
You think so? I don't know. I mean, it might do. Because the thing is, most coaches have 1 or 2 teams they'll play, don't they? They have their favourite teams. And a lot of times, especially when it's for cash, they have their set teams. And if them set teams are not got that chance of that extra wildcard spot and someone already races off with it, then they're not going to bother. They might stay with the private leagues or whatever, just might not play, go to another game. And I just think it's a massive danger.
That's my point, though. What if that starts happening to the more popular streamers who don't play a lot of variety, right? Like Jimmy doesn't play a whole lot of different teams. Lupac, I saw streaming today. He started a Chaos team. He's not going to be back playing a ton of teams, I promise you. Andy Davo might, but a lot of these guys, but they have their 1 or 2 teams they prefer, and if they lose those spots, like they're not going to... I don't think they're going to stream as much, or they're going to go away, and that's going to reduce Blood Bowl's visibility, which can't be good for Cyanide.
Well, that's what I thought. But obviously, it's the certain admins and coaches who definitely think this is a great idea, and that's fine. Everybody's got their own opinion. I just disagree with it. I just look at it and thinking we've got a system here. What's working? It's been really well received, and you want to change it. Why? Why does it need changing? I just don't see the benefit to it. I really don't.
Yeah. The only change you could make is, like I say, you just take literally the next 8 best teams. That's the only way to change it.
But then the problem with that is, that's probably worse because you could
get
end up
5
with
door teams. Yeah.
So that's never going to happen. I mean, I'd rather see seeding than that happen. But
we were able to manually seed with Legendary Edition. That's not a thing.
I think we can, but the thing it'd be too lopsided. Because the top seed will probably more likely play goblins or halflings, and
But that's the advantage of finishing top, though. That's what. That's the way I see it.
That's the way I see it. But that, to me, there's too many people against the seeding ranking, so I don't think we'll ever see that. I really don't. I mean, I agree with you because
that's the whole point of seeding.
Yeah, the thing is, though, the problem you've got with it, though, is you'll see people throw games like in the middle. So if, say, for instance, oh, well, you know what? If I lose this game, then I'll get a better matchup for the playoffs first round. And that's the problem. And then obviously when they're seeded, then you know the path they're going down, so you can sort of figure out who you might get 2nd, 3rd, 4th round and stuff like that. So I can totally understand.
That's a lot of math though in a 32-player
trust
bracket.
Me, but they'll do it. People do it, especially when there's money involved, mate. They'll do it, especially the PC lot. They will crunch them numbers, trust me. And that's the reason why we don't do it. And you know what? Fair enough. I ain't too bothered about it. But this wildcard thing, I am bothered about. I'm quite happy for the PC to do it because they can take the hit if it is bad. But at the same time, they've got a lot more players, so they'll get a lot more feedback. If it's positive, then who knows? The consoles may go down that route. But I'm like you. I think it's risky. I think
they should try it though. Manual seeding for one playoff. Not this one, obviously, because the season's already started. So.
Yeah.
I think they should. On console, we should try it, or maybe even Xbox, because they're the smallest ones. So maybe they should try it. But somebody should try it to see how it works.
Yeah. So we'll there you go. We'll see. But I mean, like I say, I'm interested to see what'll happen with the wildcard things, and I hope it works out really, really well for them. But I just think it's I don't know. It just seems a bad idea to me, forcing people to play.
Oh, and pure TV
races.
Matchmaking, please. Just pure TV matchmaking, nothing else.
And Danny saying, I think the console wildcard system is better. Also, consoles are the point of alienating certain races right off the bat. Yeah, I agree, and I agree. And to be fair, I don't know what the Xbox admins were like with it, but they've not gone with it. They decided to go with the 2 minutes, what's obviously been a positive. And obviously, we I think it's fair to say majority of the admins on the PS4 were like, no way are we touching this with a badge poll, because we don't want to upset console players. we're trying to entice people to play, not take people, put people off. So there you go. Anyway,
then
guys,
bring back the 40-second turn.
Oh, well,
40-second turns. Let's go.
Yeah, they were mental, weren't they? I used to have a really good record with goblins on 40-second turns. I don't know why. It's just crazy. Just crazy.
Speedball. That's what we need.
Yeah, absolutely. Right. Okay. Next week, guys, will be the return of Battle of the Consoles. So obviously, the PS4 crew, they won the Battle of Consoles last season, so they have the bragging rights and they have the trophy. So obviously, next week we will be back doing that. So
I'm a winner.
So yeah, Durrun's a winner. You're a winner. Everyone on the PS4 is a winner. So congratulations, guys, and well done. Just want to say thanks very much to Durrun as always for coming on the show. I know obviously a lot of people wanted you on, so we've got you on. I'm sure we'll have you on again. And I can't wait to co-announce with you. These playoffs are going to be crazy. I can't wait. And by the looks of it, we are looking for the playoffs to start Saturday at the latest. On the PS4, we usually give you about 3 days to accept your tickets. If you don't accept them by then it's adios muchachos, and somebody else gets in.
I get your ticket if you don't sign in, so you better take it in.
Yeah, absolutely. I don't mind a few more tickets.
Nobody wants my orcs in there.
Oh no, hell no. But yeah, so thanks again for everybody watching, and like I say, we will see you next week. I'm hoping to be doing the show maybe Monday. I'm going to do the Xbox One on Sunday. So there we go. And then I will see you in the playoffs, buddy. Hopefully. So yeah, thanks again, guys. Take care, and we'll see you next Monday for another episode of the Nuffle Shuffle. But hopefully you'll see me and Durrun do some playoff games before then. Okay, thanks a lot, guys. Take care.
Muchachos.
Adios, muchachos. See you later. Taco Tuesdays.